Good morning students, welcome back to the social class. In our previous class, we all know we have started a new lesson from the geography, which is none other than the earth, our living planet. So as we started a new lesson, the earth, our living planet, I have given the brief introduction about this lesson. And we have even discussed about the different names given for the earth. Okay, maybe it is the unique planet, maybe it is the Watery planet, maybe it is the blue planet, or maybe it is the living planet. So that we have all discussed in our previous class itself. So as we have already discussed about these things in the previous class, no? Today we are going to discuss about the size of the earth. So especially when it comes to the size of earth, no, we are going to discuss this topic related to the distribution of land and water bodies. So this distribution of land and water bodies on the earth's surface is uneven. Uneven in the sense it is not distributed evenly. So how it is not distributed evenly, that we are going to discuss in detail in this module. See, first time we are going to understand the size of the earth. See, earth is the fifth largest planet. Earth is the fifth largest planet in the solar family or in sun's family. So apart from earth, no, many other planets are also there, those who are going to become the member of sun's family. So among all the planets, no, the earth is the fifth largest planet. And when it comes to the diameter of the earth is 4 times greater than the moon. So the moon is going to be known as the satellite of earth. Okay, so now the diameter of earth is 4 times more than the moon. And when it comes to when we are going to compare the earth with the sun, so sun is going to be known as the head of the solar family, and now sun is almost 107 times more than the earth. So the earth is having the diameter of 107 less than the sun. So you can understand easily how big the sun is. Okay, see, earth, it is the fifth largest planet and the diameter of earth is 4 times greater than the moon. When we are going to compare with the moon, no, definitely earth is bigger than the moon. And when we are going to compare the same earth with the sun, no, automatically earth is very small in front of sun. See, 107 times less than sun. So by here itself we can understand how small the earth is when we are going to compare with the sun. Okay, next you see, the total geographical area of the earth is 500 million square kilometers, of which 361 million square meters, that is 70.78% is covered by water. Now first try to understand what is the total size of the earth. The total size of the earth is 510 million square kilometers. How much? 510 million square kilometers. Please keep this in your mind. Maybe in the examination, no, you may get this question for 1 mark. So what is the total size of earth? So the total size of earth is 510 million square kilometer, out of which, no, 361 million square kilometer is there, no, in the sense 70.78% of the earth is covered with water. So automatically we are going to say the percentage of water is high, and 149 million square kilometer, that is just 29.22% is covered by land. See, 29% land and 70% it is the water bodies. Okay, now you see, thus the earth has unequal distribution of land and water. So by this we can understand very easily, there is uneven distribution of the land and water over the earth. So land is less and water is more. So 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water and only 29% of the earth's surface is covered with land. So unequal distribution of the land and water is going to be seen on the earth's surface. Okay, so the ratio between land and water bodies is 1:2 2.43. By the ratio itself we can understand. So the distribution of land and water is uneven. It is not distributed equally over the earth's surface. Okay. So no doubt we are going to come across 7 continents and 4 important oceans also. So continents in the sense land masses and oceans in the sense water bodies. So water bodies are larger than the land bodies. Okay. The earth's shape is often described as geode. See, the earth at present, the earth's surface is there, no? Sometimes we are going to say earth is in circle. So but when we are going to define the shape of earth according to the geography, we are going to call this one as geode, G-E-O-I-D. Okay. So this, which literally means, so geode means, what do you mean by geode means? Earth shaped or oblate spheroid. So earth is having the geode shape. Okay. And next you see, the earth is flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator. See, now once you are going to have a glance towards the globe, you are going to understand very clearly. So usually the earth is there, no? It flattens at the poles, maybe the north pole or the south pole. But at the same time, at the equator, it bulges. So the shape of the earth is not equal. So it is going to differ from poles to equator. The equatorial diameter of the earth is 12,756 kilometer. Now you see, at the equator, the total diameter of the earth is 12,756 kilometer, and polar diameter is 12,714 kilometer. So by seeing this diameter itself, we can understand. So at the equator, the earth is bulging. It looks like as if bulging, and when we are moving towards the polar, no, so poles, it is going to be seen flattened. Okay. Next you see, the polar circumference is 40,008 kilometers, and the difference of 68 kilometers in diameter is the proof for regarding the shape of the earth. Now you see, total 68% of the difference we are going to find from equator to the pole. So this difference itself is going to help us to understand the earth is having the geode shape. Which shape? Spherical shape or the geode shape. Okay. So the difference between the 68 kilometer, what we are going to see from equator to poles. Okay. Next you see, the land bodies of the earth are known as continents. So whatever the land bodies we are going to see on the earth's surface, no, they are going to be known as the continents. So usually you are aware of all the 7 continents. At present we are going to see 7 continents in the world. So among them, Asia is there, Africa is there, and North America, South America, Antarctica, Arctic, and even the Australia. So these are some of the important continents what we are going to see on the earth's surface. Among these all continents, no, Asia is the largest continent, and we need to feel very proud because we too belong to the Asian continent. Do you know India locates in the Asian continent itself? Okay. And among all these 7 continents, no, Australia is going to be considered as the smallest continent, and like that we are going to come across the water bodies also. So when it comes to the water bodies, there are mainly 4 important oceans: Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Antarctic Ocean. See, now among these oceans, no, Pacific Ocean is going to be known as the deepest and the largest ocean. Okay. So these are the water bodies and land bodies which we are going to see on the earth's surface. Okay. The land and water bodies are unevenly distributed between the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Now you see, again once we are going to compare the distribution of land and water bodies from northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, automatically here also we are going to come across the uneven distribution. The northern hemisphere is there, no? The northern hemisphere is covered with the highest land mass and lowest water bodies, and the southern hemisphere is going to be covered with the highest water bodies and lowest land bodies. For example, you see, the northern hemisphere has 60% of land and 40% of water bodies. So for that reason, northern hemisphere is also going to be known as the land hemisphere. Okay, and in the same way, when it comes to the southern hemisphere, no, in southern hemisphere we are going to come across 81% of water and 19% of land. So it shows the southern hemisphere is also going to be known as the water hemisphere. So 81% of the hemisphere is covered with water only. Okay, so this is the size of earth and distribution of land and water bodies. So finally what we are going to understand is the distribution of land and water is going to be seen unevenly over the earth's surface. It is not equally distributed. Okay, so with this we are going to wind up today's class here itself, and next class now we are going to discuss about the latitudes and longitudes. Okay, so today's homework, you do one thing, you just write the size of the earth and the distribution of land and water bodies, in the sense whether it is equally distributed or unequally distributed. So that you write once, and here we are going to wind up our class today. Thank you.